Special thank you to EA for providing access to the Artist Studio Kit. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are in the world of cottage living using the new Artist Studio Kit to build a cabin studio in the woods. I built it on this lot located here. It is a 40 by 30 lot and the cabin ends up being 1 bed and 3 bath. Really great location, I think, for this cabin because it's very secluded, which I kind of had this vision in my head of like a studio that was secluded and surrounded by trees because you can paint nature and it's just a very cozy little spot to have this kind of home studio. So before we go any further though, I do want to mention that the new kits are available right now. We have Artist Studio and Storybook Nursery. And we also have an end of summer Sims sale, which is now through September 26th. So if you are purchasing either the new kits or any packs that are up for grabs, up to 50% off for the end of summer sale through the 26th of September. Feel free to use my EA creator code. This is how you do that via the EA app. When you are checking out, it goes to support me as a creator. It gives a small 5% commission on sales. And yeah, so thank you if you do choose to use my creator code. I do appreciate it greatly. It goes towards channel supplies and future giveaways. But these giveaways also, I want to mention, speaking of giveaways, I am conducting a giveaway of the 2 new kits as well over on X. I will put links in the video description for both of the giveaways. 1 copy of Artist Studio and 1 copy of Storybook Nursery, courtesy of the EA Creator Network. So thank you so much to EA for that. So yeah, if you feel like entering those, I am doing that giveaway now through September 28th, 2024. So like next Saturday, basically, for 1 week. And there's just 1 winner. So yeah, good luck if you do choose to enter. But yeah. So anyway, the build actually took shape quite quickly. We have like this exterior dock, but it kind of like wraps around the side and then the back of the cabin. It's actually like a lofty style cabin. When we get to the interior, you'll kind of see what I mean. But basically, we have that giant wall of windows on what I considered the front. It's not the front, actually. The front is where like the front door of the cabin is, but I kind of built the lot around what I considered the front of the lot to be, which was that. I am working on putting in some skylights, but I do come back and change these out for a bit of a different design. I felt like that skylight was just too high, and I wanted one that was a little bit bigger and more like spread out over the kitchen and dining room. We also add a skylight to the upper bedroom loft area as well to bring in natural light, and also in the first floor bathroom, or what I consider the first floor is this area here, because I kind of considered the studio part like a basement, if you will, but like above the ground because of the water. So yeah, the idea for the kitchen here was to basically have giant walls of windows everywhere to capture nature and all of the beautiful light that comes in. We are using more than just the Artist Studio kit. I did use Horse Ranch, Cottage Living, Home Chef Hustle for the kitchen, which is why I'm pointing that out. And you probably have noticed a lot of Horse Ranch too. And I did use Storybook Nursery for one thing, which was this beautiful wallpaper that you're going to see towards the end that I used in both the first floor and like primary bedroom or loft bedroom bathroom. It's like this beautiful wallpaper of what looks like Pleasant View from The Sims 2. I thought it was so cool, so I thought it was great to have that used in the bathrooms. And the rest is the Artist Studio items that we do make with the first floor studio area. So yeah, I just want to mention that because, yeah, you probably saw Home Chef going in the kitchen, but I did try using the horse ranch cabinets, and it just wasn't the kind of vibe that I was going for with the build. Like, it didn't capture the feeling that I wanted to. Also, the whole house is kind of built on platforms, which does make it a little tricky, but I did that only because it kind of gave me a little bit wiggle room when it comes to like terrain manipulation around the water, and to kind of make it so that I could actually have like the floating dock or deck area that you see here. I was trying to figure out access out, and I didn't realize, like, man, the platforms are actually quite high up. So it was kind of dumb because I was like, wait, Arthur, you're going to put the home studio there, so you can't have like a doorway there. So let's just put windows so you have great view to the exterior and the little like pond area. And yeah, so this becomes access to the decking space, which is just a private thing. I was considering access out the side here, but I do take that away because I'm like, no, let's just keep that private. We don't want anybody else coming onto our little like fishing pier, which actually has a telescope on it to watch the stars. So that's pretty cool. Doing the front elevation here. This is actually the front of the lot here. So I thought it was nice to have some columns, and we do this stacked thing with platforms to kind of create steps into the house, which are fully functional. So that's great. I tried a normal staircase, but it again wasn't capturing that like feel that I wanted. So this was like perfect. This build is available on the Sims 4 gallery as well if you are interested. Here is the gallery listing. Again, it's just 5 packs, 1 bed, 3 bath. There's like a small like half bath on the home studio floor that just has the new artist studio sink, and then I just like put a toilet in there. That way your Sims don't have to go like all the way upstairs to use the toilet if they're working in their studio. And then it is 62,029 simoleons, so actually pretty affordable. On the 40 by 30 lot, I wanted some space there to be able to have this nice little like pond area. So yeah. As we are progressing through, I did keep the archways. I was toying with some new archways and trying to figure out colors here. And speaking of that, the Sims actually had a bunch of news announced over the past week. They had a giant base game update with over like 650 new like color swatches. So you have like colors and stuff on like a base game sofa, the chairs. We have some new archways of different sizes. So you actually have like medium height wall archways now, and it's all base game. And there's a bunch of different color swatches for things. There's a sliding door that, I mean, we've always had in the base game, but they actually made a larger size of it to fit like medium wall heights. And they actually have like a normal color where, like, I don't know if you've ever used like the base game sliding door, but basically if you choose like the white swatch, it kind of looks kind of old and dirty on it. Well, they actually have like a clean white one, which I'm so happy for. So thank you so much, EA, for providing us a massive update. Not only that, there was like a bunch of massive like bug fixes and everything like that. So like they fixed a ton of things and a ton of issues. They improved performance of the game itself. And they also introduced DirectX 11 if you happen to play on Windows. And if your graphics card actually supports it. If it doesn't, your game will continue to run in DirectX 9, which is just like a back-end technology kind of thing. It's really more just to kind of help the game run better and more efficiently. So you may notice some performance gains with that. Hopefully, if your graphics card supports it, that is. And also they had a bunch of news surrounding like the next Sims. There is still a Project Renee, but it's not actually being called the next Sims or the Sims 5. The Sims 4 is going to stay as it is. They're going to continue producing content for it and releasing kits and packs. They're also doing new creator kits, which are going to allow like CC creators to basically release content for the game as like a little kit. So I think that's really cool. Like it'll be CC content, but officially like added to the game by EA. So that's really cool. I'm interested to see like what kind of ideas come out of that, like what kind of content we get. So yes, the Sims 4 itself is staying. It's basically it. Like it is the platform, I guess. They're also going to have some mobile games coming out. Like there's My Sims being reintroduced here shortly on the Nintendo Switch. We also have like the regular mobile games like The Sims Free Play. And then there's Project Renee, which they are bringing things like multiplayer and a couple of other things into The Sims 4, which we'll see in the future. So that is really cool. I'm interested to see how they're going to do that. Like multiplayer in The Sims 4, can you imagine? I think that would actually be kind of fun though, especially if you're streaming or even if you just want to play with a friend, you know, like you can actually play together in the game. So that's really cool that they're going to be bringing something like that to The Sims 4. And then there's like this overarching thing called the Sims Hub, which is going to encompass all of like the Sims universe, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's a really interesting concept, but I do like what they're doing. It does kind of make sense. I am a little like sad that there like is no like next iteration, but I understand why. And the reason being is like a lot of people get into The Sims and then you spend all the money on kits and expansion packs, then you get a new game and you have to start over and buy all that stuff. And like not everybody's, you know, has like just money sitting there. I mean, I know I don't. So like to rebuy everything again is it's understandable, but I'm also kind of used to it, you know, like we've done that with The Sims 1 to The Sims 2 to The Sims 3 to The Sims 4. So I'm just kind of, you know, used to starting over every time. So it is a bit different, but, and I do appreciate it. It's not like there's anything wrong with it. Like, I think it's great that they're going that way and not having us start over. But it was kind of surprising, you know, in a way. So yeah, there's just so much about it. They also launched the Sims Creator Program, which is basically the EA Creator Network, but for Sims. So like anybody who's in the EA Creator Network is automatically in the Sims Creator Program. And they actually listed the benefits of the program, like what you get from it and everything like that. So it's actually spelled out now, instead of just kind of like, you just have like a vague understanding of it. They actually listed out everything, which is great. If you were looking to join that, they are apparently accepting people for that. So if you haven't signed up for the EA Creator Network or the Sims version of it, feel free to do that if you are a creator or build and, you know, you have a social presence. So yeah, there's also the Sims Labs, which they're opening now for playtesting of like future features and Sims related things. So you'll get to maybe playtest if you're invited to that. Again, there's some requirements for that. I know like I signed up for it, but like they ask you if you want to do it from home, or you have to be, if you want to go to like a studio, you have to be like within so many miles of it, or like such like a time range of it in order for you to partake like in person. So I am not. So I did like the at-home version, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what comes out of it. Who knows? But no clue, to be honest. So yeah, back to the build. We did put the artist studio together rather quickly. I used a lot of the new items. You might have seen that bookshelf that I was just working on. I did put a fire pit outside there. That is Horse Ranch. We'd used the Horse Ranch grill, and yeah, you saw a lot of the items from the new artist studio kit, which are really pretty. There's a new woodworking table, and then there's like the painting easel and a bunch of different like objects related to that. Like you can put things on like pedestals like this, like I was doing just there with the hand. And yeah, you can kind of use that to paint from reference. You can put anything on there, like a vase of flowers or something, for example, which the kit actually comes with that. So that's great. We are now putting together a small garden, which I thought was nice to have. Just in the small corner of the lot here. It's kind of in a weird spot there, but there really wasn't any other place to do it that made sense. I also put in a little rabbit house, which I think is so cute. And they do come out of it. You know, I think you might have to click on it with your sim, but yeah. And then there will be like little rabbits roaming around. There's foxes roaming around. And yeah, there's just a lot of wildlife in this particular world, which I think is nice. And I think that also helps with the whole cabin and artist studio in the woods kind of thing. I was toying with a water wheel, but then I was afraid that it was going to like start animating and that would just look a little silly. So I thought, let's not include that. But I am using some pond related items and grasses and things to kind of make it feel like it's a bit overgrown. And a lot of the white squares you see there are things like fireflies, ducks, and fish. So it really makes the body of water kind of come alive. And using some debug landscaping now to better tie the build into the world itself. So yeah, just kind of figuring out, because we did have like this like terrain bump kind of thing going on like around the house itself. So it was actually very hard and very tricky to kind of landscape, even just around the whole like little pond itself, because of like the slope in the ground. Like a lot of the landscaping was actually kind of floating in some spots, and I'm like, oh geez. So I did fix that as much as possible. But like here, for example, like trying to cover up this little like lumpy hill thing. I mean, I put that there, but I put that there mainly to make it feel a bit more like the house itself was built into the side of a pond, like it was kind of elevated a bit. So it was just trying to landscape around that and kind of make it blend in a bit more and not stand out like a sore thumb, I guess. So yeah, just doing some bushes around and kind of doing the finishing touches now. We are almost to the end of this build. And yeah, I thought the name of the place, Artist Cabin, was actually pretty fitting. It's simple and to the point, but that's exactly what it is. It's an artist studio cabin in the woods, kind of modernish, but kind of rustic at the same time. It kind of fuses both of them together, which I think is a great mix of styles. And I really love how it turned out, especially with all the windows from Horse Ranch. Really brings in loads of natural light everywhere. Like, you mean, even into the home studio, but just into the living space, and the like lofted bedroom area is just, it's just really nice. It really looks so pretty, especially in this part of the world, because you're just surrounded by trees and you can see some like rolling hills in the distance or like a house in the distance. So it's just a really great location, I think, for this and a beautiful build. But we will take a look at the Storybook Nursery kit as well in another speed build, probably the next speed build. I'm just not really sure how I want to approach that. But if you have any suggestions or ideas for like what you want to see with the Storybook Nursery, please leave them in the comments below, because I do appreciate that. If you have any ideas, like, do you just want to see like a nursery room build, or do you want to see like a house with a full-on like Storybook Nursery using all the items from the kit? So do let me know in the comments below. I'd appreciate that. So here we are into the screenshots. This is the exterior of the house. I think it's absolutely beautiful. This time of day was like 3:30 game time, so the lighting was just really nice. But even in like the morning time, like the lighting comes in differently into the house, but I still think it's absolutely beautiful with all of the windows and the natural light. The floor plan is also interesting, but I really do like the lofted aspect of it. And just having this nice open space makes it feel a bit modern. This is the entryway into the build. This is the little home studio. And we have a couple of Sims here. One is actually barbecuing. The other one I actually instructed to use the new woodworking table and craft something. And then there's the new painting easel. And there's some of the new items there in the background, like you can see, so you can paint from reference as well. This is the upstairs like landing area. And then we move into the beautiful kitchen space. And then, yeah, this is the kitchen. I kind of used the picture that came with the Audio Studio kit as like a thing on the cabinet. It's not functional, it's decorative, but I think it looked really nice. I also used the couch and chairs you see here. These are the base game ones, but they're the ones that have the new color swatches. And the pillows that I added to the couch were just like that login event item. And this is a new bust, which I thought was really cool because the lighting was hitting it so uniquely through the window there. Kind of look nice. And that's the wallpaper. It's definitely Pleasant View. It has to be. The one that I was talking about, this from the Storybook Nursery. Really cool wallpaper in the bathrooms. It's just so cool to have that throwback. And I thought it was fitting because, you know, like you could imagine like an artist painted it or something on the wall. So, you know, like maybe they were from Pleasant View or something. So yeah, and you can see the view out the window, and this is the upstairs bath. And then we zoom around the lot a bit into like the surroundings, and we'll kind of get a little closer look at the pond and all of the actual living things like the ducks and stuff, which you can see. And then you can see into the home studio from the outdoor deck here. And then you have the ducks. I was going to say swans, but they are actually ducks. And then you have like ducks over here with little baby ducks. Then you have the fire pit. And then we kind of zoom around to the rest of the lot. But that is all I had for this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.